Robert, I'm very happy to see you. It is time for the underdog again. Who is actually our underdog today?
Well, the underdog today, it's from a game played in the Netherlands. There are a lot of summer tournaments. It's an open tournament. And there are a lot of interesting summer tournaments in the Netherlands as well. So I'm particularly following that
Mhm.
as I know a lot of players there. And this is from the tournament in Vlissingen. Really a popular tournament. It's one big open group
Heard of
with
it.
grandmasters and amateurs playing in the same group. No rating limits. And the
Nice.
game is one between a very well-known Dutch top grandmaster Erwin Lamy, also chess-based author,
Yeah,
and
absolutely. Lovely guy. Amazing personality. Yes.
he's playing with the white pieces against Joel Van der Werf. He is 2100 rated, so there's almost 500 points rating difference. I think it's a pretty cool game. It was actually played last night, and I was following it with a lot of interest. And
Mhm.
well, there are a lot of interesting moments to discuss. So
Lovely. Yeah, yeah. This is what we want to see after all. So I'm looking forward to this. Also, especially for the opening choice. And he was black,
exactly,
actually, right? Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
The underdog is playing with the black pieces, Erwin with white, and I've played Erwin hundreds of times in classical games, blitz games, everything.
Yeah.
He is so solid and so difficult to beat. So let's see what an amateur player is going to do. I should
Yeah.
say that Joel van der Werf, he's actually quite a talented player. He's like 27 years old. Maybe not that high rated, but he's from a chess family. His father's international master, and his mother is also a woman international master.
Ooh,
So he understands the game, and he's going
apparently.
to show you some very nice moves in this game as well.
Cool. Let's
Let's
uh
have a
let's
look.
roll, yeah.
Okay, so Erwin starts with one knight f3,
Very
knight
solid.
f6, c4, e6, g3, d5, and we get some sort of Catalan type of structure. White hasn't played the move d4 yet, and therefore Black decides here to prevent that by advancing the pawn himself to d4.
Okay.
Not a surprise. This is all very well known
Aha.
theory.
I just sorry, I'm so not Catalan player. Okay, so far so good.
Castling c5, e3, knight c6. So here, interesting moment, as this is the moment where there's the first tension in the center. Like
Mhm.
white has the possibility here to take on d4, after which you take back, and you get an asymmetrical pawn structure. Like is in a way, it's some sort of Benoni with reversed colors. White has ideas to try maybe to expand on the queen side. Black has an extra pawn in the center. We're not going to discuss that because it didn't happen in the game. Instead, White played here first the move d3, and now after playing e5, Black is strengthening that pawn on d4. Pawns were exchanged, but Black decides to recapture with the e pawn, and we have a symmetrical position. Black is having a nice space advantage in the center. But in a way, it looks like White still has some easy moves to play. He can get his bishop out, the knight out. Looks like everything is okay.
Okay.
Um, Still, the let's say the most common continuation here is to put a bishop on f4. And the idea for White, because he's playing with a lack of space, is to get in the move knight e5, to exchange pieces and to activate that bishop
Yeah.
on the long diagonal. This is the main idea.
This sounds looks very active too. Yeah.
I think it's a very nice and active approach. Still, the game is more or less balanced. But Aaron has a different idea. He goes for bishop g5, bishop e7, and here he decides to trade off the bishop for the knight.
Uh-huh.
Um, Usually, people wait until the move h6 is played. Like
Yeah.
you can try to force black to spend an extra move to get that bishop. But Aaron plays this move with the idea that after recapturing, he can play rook e1. And this looks a little bit awkward with the king still in the center. And there are probably different ways of reacting to this as well. Um, but what would you play here with black? And not only you, Arne, also the viewers can think for themselves.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, and look, this is it's funny because I was thinking about this move, of course, for the last two or three moves, even because the file is open, so it's just
Exactly.
a very logical move to be played. So yeah, I mean, the most logical way looks like it's going to be bishop e6, but then it's going to be interesting because bishop h3. I was thinking about for a moment, and it gives a
Yeah,
bit more.
it's a little bit annoying, yeah,
Yeah.
when you got to deal with a potential
Yeah.
weakness on e6. So that was not played in the game.
Then the other option is, of course, bishop e7 or knight even to e7. I would think that what is even better? I don't know. Yeah, one of those two. And the third and final option, and this might be the most interesting one, might be just going to f8 with the king.
That's what was played in the game.
I thought so.
Remarkable decision, but a very nice technical choice by Black. There's no reason to fear to give up the right of castling.
Mm.
The king is actually quite safe,
And it
and
strengthens h5 maybe at one point in.
there are ideas to go h5. I'm not sure you're really threatening
No, okay.
um, to launch a massive attack,
Mm.
but it could be one way of trying to open up the h file. That is true. In the game, they followed knight bd2.
Can I ask, what
Oh,
does
sorry.
the
Yeah.
engine say to a move like king f8? Does the engine say like, dude, what's happening with your rook? Or like, what are you doing? Or
No, engine really likes king
ah,
f8. It is a good move, and we
interesting.
will see that black still has alternative plans of activating the rook later on. Um,
Okay.
for now, it is actually quite good that you have not made a concession of blocking the check with a minor piece, which
Yeah.
deactivates the minor piece. Here, black is actually quite happy with its position.
Okay, that's cool. Okay,
Knight,
let's
knight,
continue.
yeah, knight bd2, g6 was played,
Aha.
and you see that the idea is to
Artificially
castle in
castling.
artificial way. So knight e4 played, attacking the bishop. What you're going to do with that piece?
Well, it depends on how much you want to keep your bishop. After all, you have two of them. So, what do you want to do with that piece? I mean, e7, g7. What's better? But then again, maybe you just get the king to g7 and take back with the queen because there's no big follow up.
Be careful, because
Oh
apart from this,
no.
what is white threatening as
Oh,
well?
I just see it. It's the pawn on c5.
Exactly. So, as a rule of principle, you would like to
What did I
keep as
do?
many pieces on the board as possible. So bishop e7
Yeah,
was played.
I would have been
Looks a
a
bit strange, but
pawn down
because
against Alvin already.
yeah, yeah. Well, Joel Van der Werf is playing very nice chess.
Yeah.
This is a very nice technical move, defending the pawn, and also here you see the knight on e4. It's on 2 squares distance, so basically it's dominated by the bishop. The knight
Mhm.
cannot really come forward, and that's going to play very important role in the next coming moves.
Okay.
Queen d2 played.
Oh,
So Erwin is looking for some nasty check probably, but
yes. So you have to take care of that. And as you were saying, now out of a sudden, the knight on e4 has even less spots to go anywhere.
right. So king g7 was played. And now, interesting, Erwin played queen f4.
Hmm.
So this looks still like white is quite active, right? There are maybe some
Very.
ideas. Maybe you can jump with a knight to
Yeah.
g5, or maybe you can come to e5. What do you think? What's black's next move here?
Oh, this is well, since you mentioned those two moves, could it just be very simply f6? Does it?
Fantastic. Very
Okay.
nice multi-purpose move. I think these kind of moves, they are quite difficult to make
Yeah.
because it feels like you're making another pawn move near
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
king.
Yeah.
But it's really nice prophylactic idea to yeah, kill white's active play here.
Hmm.
And well, white played rook e2, continues with the idea of directing all the pieces over to the king
Yeah.
side. So
Looks nice
looks
for
quite
white.
sensible. But now, very nice idea by black again.
Hmm. I should give in. I don't know. Maybe mobilize the bishop on c8 a bit better.
That seems like a logical thing to do in the opening, but here, in fact, the it doesn't look like the bishop does have a much better square than c8. You could put it on d7, but it's not really clear what it's going to do there more than it is doing right now.
Okay. So one thing, oh, this has to be calculated though, but I mean, after g5, the queen has to go all the way back, which is interesting.
Very nice. G5
Hmm.
was played. You see the bishop is covering all these light squares, so the queen has to go back somewhere.
Yeah,
It
and
went to C1 even. When I saw this move, I was kind of surprised. But I understand that if you put the queen on D2, then the knight may not be able to come back.
exactly as we mentioned earlier, yeah.
So I felt this was a kind of a sad decision for white to go
Yes.
back all the way to C1, but I didn't really see much better for white
Mm-hmm.
either. And again, it does look a bit weakening, right? Expanding on the king side
Does.
with these pawns. But for now, there's no way for white to profit.
Yeah, actually, I mean, even a move like f5 is an option.
You would like to do that, but be careful. If you play it right
Oh,
now,
there's three pieces. The queen is so far away again that I didn't even see that. Sorry.
you forget about it.
Yeah,
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 it
true.
just went back, but it's still there in a way.
What am I saying? Yeah.
But you get a right idea. Overprotect the pawn on g5 with the move h6. So very nice pawn play by black.
Mm-hmm.
Well, white played a3.
Ah, tries to go from the other side.
With at some point you would like to get in b4,
Yeah.
and you can continue with your plans, but you can also rule out that option by playing a5 yourself. That's kind of a standard move, and you see that black is trying to just control the first 5 ranks, and he's trying to push white's pieces backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Queen c2 played, f5,
There we go.
knight ed2, only move, and the bishop goes from e7 to d6, so that you're not that it was hanging, but you clear the e file so that your bishop is never going to be hanging, and the bishop is excellently placed. It does support a pawn, even though the pawn is not under threat. But you see, the bishop is also looking at black's king,
Mm-hmm.
and it's an unusual situation that black is expanding on the king side, pushing all these pawns, and I was actually thinking when I looked at this game, the colors are reversed. Like
Yes.
I thought it was actually Lamy playing with the black pieces. I think this is really grandmaster style of play. When it's like amateur against grandmaster, you would expect the grandmaster to make all these prophylactical measures.
Yes.
But I was very impressed, and I actually failed to see a good plan here for white. Rook f1 was played. Looks strange at first, but probably the idea is to get the rook into the game in a way that you would like to move the knight, maybe get in f4. Perhaps people were expecting rook ae1, but it's important to point out that after such a move, there's not much to gain on the e file. All the squares have been taken away by black's pieces. So there's no entry square. Let's have a look. Rook f1 played, bishop d7. Now finally it's time to make this move, and the plan is to connect the rooks soon. Knight e1 played to free the bishop.
Mm-hmm.
Queen c7, and the bishop comes into d5. That looks like an active spot, and you're also intending to get your knight to g2. Black played rook ae8.
Yeah, there's
Offering
a
the exchange of rooks.
rook
White
hanging.
doesn't have much of a choice.
Yeah.
And the knight goes to g2.
Do you think when the rooks were swapped, I mean, it's not a bad move, but do you think it's like, I'd like to have a little less pieces on the board to...
As the underdog or as the grandmaster?
Yeah, as the underdog, yeah.
Well, that's actually becoming a very important theme later on in the game. So
interesting. Okay.
it is a good question. I think at this point I think black just wanted to trade off white's most active piece.
Yeah,
And
makes sense.
therefore,
Makes sense.
I think the exchange of rooks does look
Absolutely.
very sensible. Now you're the one controlling that open file, even though you're not able to infiltrate yourself either. Let's see what happens. So knight g2, knight e7, intending to take the bishop at the right moment. Bishop goes back. White doesn't want to give up that bishop, but there follows g4.
Oof. Wow.
Hitting the bishop. and the bishop went back to d1.
And now knight
And,
g6.
and now knight g6. The black continues. Very nice. And what do you
It's
think? What are black's ideas here?
well, black's position plays on its own right now. There's only almost like good moves, and I think you can if black continues, they can just use their pawns to destroy the king pawn position a bit.
Right.
And
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So it started as a prophylactic measure to kick the white pieces backwards, but now all of a sudden black is probably thinking about a breakthrough. Black is
yeah.
the one dictating the game here. Rook e1 played. Question for you, Arne, and for the viewers,
Hmm.
of course. What do you think? Would you like to exchange rooks or not?
Well, now the rook can come in handy. I would give in to f8 or h8 maybe, and continue with the pawn storm to just make the white king a bit more vulnerable, because all pieces are pointing in the direction. White has very little space, and it would just help white, I think, if the rooks are swapped to make it easier.
Exactly, exactly. So it's not really bad to trade off rooks, but it's
Hmm.
better to keep them on the board. White played knight f1, h5 played.
Yeah.
Now queen d2.
Uh-huh.
The queen
Uh-huh.
is looking at
G5.
this g5 square, and well, there are different ways to deal with that. I think the move played in the game, I was not 100% sure I would do it, but black played here this move, king
Oh,
f6.
I thought about it. Yeah. What
Well,
a
so
crazy king.
at this point, everything is under control. The position is still close, but imagine the position will explode. It gets open, then maybe your king is getting a bit vulnerable here.
Yeah.
But for now, it's still okay. White played b3, black played b6, defending the pawn, keeping control over the pawn chain. White played queen b2. You see, white is looking at these sort of ideas with
Try
b4,
so hard. Yeah.
but it's black who feels like all the pieces are doing well. It's time to launch this pawn break, f4.
Yeah. This is difficult now, right? How to break through this pawn structure in the best way. In my opinion, it's difficult
It,
to
it, it is difficult. On the other hand, I think white is also quite suffering. White also doesn't have that many
yeah.
great moves to play here. White played b4. I think it's a
Mm.
logical idea. So that after pawn takes, and if you take for a second time, don't do that. This is a terrible move.
Yeah,
It
check.
allows queen takes d4, and there's counterplay. So black. What do you think? What would you do with black after taking once on b4?
Now I would just leave the queen side as it is and continue with the pawns,
Correct. And which
because we can
particular
just
move you
take
have in
back
mind?
from b to c5. Now, yeah, I'm considering, but also this has to be calculated. But h4 looks tempting.
H4 looks like a good move, and I think it's very consistent. You just have played Rook H8 a few moves ago.
Yeah.
To me, this seems like the best option. But Black instead played here this move, F3. It is also a tempting move,
Oh.
but probably not the best one. What is White gonna do with his
So
knight?
I'm wondering if now, if it is enough to hold the position if the knight goes to h4. If we take back, the pawn takes, and g3, is it enough pieces to? Oh, it's difficult.
Well,
Well,
strong players think alike. It's the move Lamy played in the in,
yeah,
in the game.
but there
But
is also not that many other options after I'm looking at
there
it.
is one other. There is one other brilliant move here. Can you spot it?
Brilliant move.
Not brilliant, but a very good one. I was exaggerating a bit. Yeah.
What could that be? Is it is it yeah, to f4?
Well, I can just take it. I can take, and I think I will just be a pawn up. But where else can the knight go to? Well, only one option left.
Yeah, well, but East. Oh my God! Oh, sorry, guys.
Yeah, yeah, E3.
Apologies. I didn't see it. I really didn't see it. That this
Remarkable,
cannot
yeah,
be
but
taken. Yeah,
I think you didn't see it because of the remarkable king's position of black.
yeah.
I mean, you don't get that king on f6 every day. This knight e3 move, black is still probably better, but it's really annoying that knight e5 is coming in with a knight fork against the king
True.
and the queen. and therefore, yeah, I think Black's push f3 was simply wrong. It allows the knight to rejoin the center.
Yeah.
Knight h4 was played, and I understand Lamy's idea. He wants to block the king side. So after knight takes, pawn takes, at least you cannot push with the h pawn any longer. So the
Yeah.
rook remains out of play. Um, and therefore, Black opts for a different plan. Rook e8 played.
Oh, rook
Rooks are coming off the
e8.
board.
Oh,
Pawns
okay.
were exchanged.
Oh, okay.
But how would you assess this position? Is it still better for Black? Do you see any ideas here for Black at all?
Maybe they try to take the vulnerable h4 pawn, but it will take a little. And the question is there enough time? Maybe white can reorganize their pieces very well. The knight goes to d2, then to e4. The bishop can go to a4, maybe sneak around, even exchange more pieces. A4 is not working at the moment, of course, but yeah, these
I
are.
think I think that was what Lamy had been thinking here, but you're looking in the right direction. I think the best move in the position is Queen e7. It was not played, but it's a very nice and good move. You're keeping an eye on the pawn on h4 first of all. That's a long-term weakness. So if nothing happens, we can target that pawn. And for instance, the attempt to get a knight into to e4, either via g3 or via d2. Let's say you go knight g3 here. There is this idea to go queen e1, and if the knight goes back,
You just
well,
win a
probably you
piece.
can even take the bishop. But the main idea I wanted to point out here is that you can always take on h2 with the bishop.
Oh,
You're
sweet. You
not allowed
take
to take with a knight. You got to take
yeah,
with the king, and it's actually a mating attack here with the queen
unavoidable.
coming in. So that's leading to mate. So what you see from this example with the queen on e7, you're also intending to infiltrate to
Brutal.
e1, and there are a lot of weaknesses. It's not only the pawn on h4, but basically all the pawns are quite vulnerable. Yeah, so I think that's an instructive idea. Now, white isn't obliged to move the knight. You could play something like Queen B2, for instance. But in that case, my idea is indeed to target the pawn on h4, and let's say after something like Queen B6, I get a bishop to g6 to improve the bishop, not only to attack the pawn, but also to make our king look a bit safer in case we move around with our queen. And I think at some point the position is just gonna collapse. Um, because of there are simply too many weaknesses to
Yeah.
deal with. So that was an interesting idea to get the queen over to e7 with the aim of reaching the white king. Instead, there followed bishop f4, and this is move 40. Lamy played knight g3, and I think this is a crucial moment in the game because what do you think? I mean, what would you do here at this point with black?
Yeah, so of course there's h5 hanging. This knight is in the next move, the knight is going to be a monster.
Exactly.
So
So you got to reckon
yeah.
with these ideas. I mean, h5 is defended now, but therefore your bishop is restricted.
So I'm not sure if it's the best move, but I would probably maybe take the knight and hope for a wonder.
I. That is the move played in the game.
Oh no,
And,
I'm such a
and
chicken.
yeah, and the reason I actually picked this game was also for this moment. I really can imagine you're playing against somebody
Yeah.
much stronger. You've been dominating the entire game. That's also what you realize, and you feel like you're getting closer to a result. But this is simply the wrong exchange. You're trading off your beautiful bishop, and you improve white's pawn
Oh
structure. So
no.
so the pawns are safe again.
Yeah.
I'll show you the last couple of moves. Like Queen e5 played, so the idea is to enter, but there is Queen a5. You're defending this
Ooh,
entry
nice.
square. King g7, Queen d2, and now you're no longer really able to break through. Too many pieces have been exchanged, and well, white can decide if he wants to exchange queens or keep them on the board. So they repeated the moves here. The game ended in the draw, which is a fantastic result when you're
Yeah,
playing against
yeah.
such a top player. But
Worthy
look,
of an
look,
underdog for sure, but there
yeah,
was more, you say.
there was definitely more. And one very important rule in chess is to when you're on the stronger side, don't release the tension too early. You have the better pieces. Of course, you got to reckon with knight e4, but why don't you just play
Yeah,
here something
bishop
like bishop
g6. I
g6?
just saw it. I just saw it. It makes so much more sense. Yeah.
You're activating this piece. There are problems with the pawn on d3, which got to be protected. You cannot play knight e4. In case of knight e4, I'm going to take, and at the end, the pawn on h2 will be hanging. So that
At
means
least, yeah.
the knight is sort of stuck on g3. Um, what else can you do?
Yeah, the
I was look,
worries I have is, of course, queen a6 check, queen a8, and then to sneak in from behind and maybe do some trouble there. But is it worth it?
Yeah, I had in my notes a move like Queen A1. I don't know how good it is, but I think it doesn't really matter where you do put the queen at this point. For instance, my main idea is to get back with the king to G7.
Yeah,
I think the king is quite safe, and the bishops are also helping out in defense. But my next move, after defending the pawn, I guess I'm going to play something like Queen E7, and the pawn on h4 it's gonna drop
it's gonna fall.
at some point. And well, similar things could have happened if the queen would have been on another square.
Yeah,
But I really like the harmony between black's pieces. Everything is well protected, and at the same time, black is also thinking about targeting the weaknesses
true.
in white's position. So if black would have played this move bishop g6, we could have seen a completely different result. But I think it's a very human reaction. I've done it
Yes.
myself multiple times. You play against a higher rated, much higher rated opponent.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
feel relieved getting away with a very nice result, and you no longer think about getting the most out of your position.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure that if he would have played against somebody much lower rated, he would not have taken
Yeah, yeah,
on G3.
absolutely. No, no, of course. It would never have. Yeah, yeah. He would have tried to be more active. Yeah, yeah. That's the curse of the underdog and the super strong player. I would have been the chicken as well now. What a pity. Then again, of course, we also have to understand how much time was left. That's another
Yeah, well,
factor, right?
in fact, it's interesting. As I was watching the game
Yeah.
live, if I'm not, it was move 40, so it's kind of a
Ah,
critical moment. But still, I think Black still had a couple of minutes left, and the position was no longer that tactical. But well, you're full of adrenaline. So many thoughts are going through your mind,
hmm.
and maybe he was just satisfied getting a draw. Maybe he didn't think about playing for more than a draw at all. Um, who knows? I don't know what went through the player's mind, but it's yeah, I thought it was a very typical underdog game.
Yes.
Apart from the opening and middle game, I really felt that the roles of the players it was reversed. I thought it was the grandmaster who was pushing, but well, the opposite was true. It was a brilliant positional masterpiece
Yep.
by the amateur player.
Fantastic. Absolutely great game. Thank you so much, Robert. That was very enjoyable. Yeah, I am looking forward to the next underdog. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We see each other soon.
See you then. Bye bye.
Bye.